Shola on the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. as we invoke the thought-provoking discussion, tackle the tough questions, challenge assumption, and give a voice to the unheard. This is the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Welcome on board the Morning Express.
Good morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Welcome to the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Good morning and welcome to Trends in the Papers on Mainland 98.3 FM. Yes, it's time for us to look through the major stories trending on the front pages of our dailies. And we're going to be running that up until 8:30. This is Mainland 98.3 FM. You're on to the Morning Express. My name is Omobola Sandra. I will not be doing this alone. Fuad Sahid will be joining in via the phone line to give analysis to the stories that we're going to be treating this morning. We'll do this till 8:30 and we'll take a break. By 8:40, we are back for Milan Focus, where you, our dear listener, you get to be a part of the conversation. It promises to be an interesting run. Today is Wednesday, and you know what Wednesday is. Wednesday is fully packed at Mainland FM. So you do not want to miss any one of these programs. By 10 a.m., we have the Big Talk. By 1 p.m., we have Midweek Politics. And by 4 p.m., we have Situation Room. So stay tuned. But in the meantime, let's get started with trends in the papers. Good morning, Fuad. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning, Sandra. How are you doing?
I asked you first.
Yeah, what?
I asked you first. Answer me first.
I'm good. I'm doing well. Doing very, very well.
I'm well. Thank you very much. Okay, so Fuad is on standby to give analysis to the stories that we're going to be looking through this morning. We have our papers here. The Guardian, Vanguard, and New Telegraph. So all ye fans of the Punch, I apologize, we do not have the Punch paper for today. But let's kickstart the conversation with the Guardian newspaper. The major headline there: unlicensed digital lenders. Unlicensed digital lenders. We have loan sharks target poor citizens, exploit and violate privacy rights. So apparently it's becoming a serious issue. I remember we had this conversation some weeks ago, about a month or so ago, on the Big Talk, and a lot of people called in to complain as regards, these loan apps and the messages they send once you default for like 2 seconds and all of that. But away from all of that is the fact that, especially with the vulnerability of a lot of Nigerians now at this time, with the economy and the hardship that is going through the country at this time, a lot of these loan apps are taking advantage. And I was playing a game yesterday on my phone, and what, like, almost 90% of the adverts inside the game were all from loan apps. Oh, download us, click the link below the video, download us, and you get this certain amount for this certain amount and this certain amount for this certain amount. So as it is now, loan apps are taking advantage. We have deploying compound interest rates. You have some apps are even abusing users' data, and there are over 71 apps that are currently operating illegally. All right, because some have been deregistered, some have been delisted actually. So what we have now is 215 lenders registered, 47 delisted, over 71 apps operating illegally. We have better regulation underway, says FCCPC. Citizens Gavel, we received over 600 complaints lately. So worsening economic downturn and attendant hunger may have widened the floodgate of activities for digital money lenders, with many loan sharks targeting poor and vulnerable Nigerians. These DML, digital money lenders, all offer instant soft loans, Say just drop your phone number and your BVN, and that's
no
all.
Collateral, nothing.
Exactly. So there's no bureaucracy of the normal commercial bank system and all of that. But now the challenge is hidden in the interest rates. Okay. All right. So creditors unlimited access to phone contact details as well. Because they say allow us to access to your contact. So everybody that is saved on your phone, they have access to it. And then there's also cyberbullying in the guise of saying we want to recover our loans, or naming and shaming defaulters and even their contacts. What? I don't know if you ever received message from on behalf of anybody on your contact list. Have you ever?
Severally.
So imagine those kind of messages on your own. You're on your own. Someone has your number and automatically you're just that person's guarantor because the person has your number on their phone.
I don't think they even consider those contacts as guarantors. I think they just want to have those numbers. In the assumption that if there's any default, that they now. I don't understand that kind of business model. Really, it's a very strange business model to be. Where you borrow people money, there's no collateral, there's even no physical contact of any kind, other than people just downloading your app, registering one or two information, and then you wire money to them just like that. And that's why a lot of people that go on borrowing these monies have been issued from the start, having in mind that they're not going to repay.
Yes, some of them.
A lot of them, a lot of them really, because they feel like, this is just free meal somewhere. They don't even have. And look, most of these loan defaulters are also shameless, so you can't even shame the shameless. Because I've seen people who say, let them send my contact now. Even Nigeria is borrowing money. Nigeria is owing. So what's the big deal with owing? Things like that. So I don't know that kind of business model. I think there's been a lot of complaints really about Google Play Store and all of those kind of things, so that people don't have access to them. But at the end of the day, it's just a reflection of the times we are in. Sandra, people are desperate. People are hungry. People are just available to take advantage of anything that comes their way. Like I said, you see, how do you even define the credit worthiness of a person when there's no physical contact, there's no background check, there's no collateral, there's no history of the person, and you're assuming as a business person, call them whatever name you're calling them, that they will borrow and pay back. Even banks that do all of their background checks, ensure you have adequate collateral, does all their risk assessment before they deploy money. Still have people who refuse to pay. You understand? So how much more you just developing the app and you expect that people, and then you have this ridiculous, interest rate on those loans. Extremely ridiculous. That even makes it extremely difficult for these people to pay, even when they want to pay. So but again, it is what it is. I think this idea of privacy invasion is the reason why people make it the news. Because again, you keep getting messages. Sometimes they will even call you. If you get messages, even better. You can just push off a button.
They now call, yes.
I know sometimes when these calls come in, it might even be a time you are expecting a very, very important call. When somebody, maybe you are hoping that somebody wants to
just pick the call.
And then you now pick the call, and then your cousin or your friend or your clinical, Sandra Omowola just.
Where is my name I use in here? Anyways, there are over 71 unregistered loan apps that are notorious for defamation, harassment, breach of data privacy rights. I mean, imagine for somebody is borrowing 13,500 at 13% interest rates. But why? And you have to pay within 7 days. I don't know how that makes sense.
But that 13% is still lower than the commercial bank rate now. Because that the term to pay, the repayment period is the problem.
On 13.5 in 7 days. In 7 days.
That's why I said that the repayment period is the problem. But if you look at the rate compared to what is obtainable in the normal regular bank, you see the regular banks are thinking about 27% now, 27-30%.
Let's look at it from this angle. Somebody who is borrowing 13,500, are you not supposed to understand that person is going through
the shop money?
It's not business. It's not business loan. No, this is not business loan.
No, Sandra. Let's put it this way: there are people. But again, I don't know what 13,000 would do now in this economy, because again, you used to have people who do that kind of money, maybe to just pay with stock for daily transactions. You understand? Maybe they are selling, these 괜 things now, small things.
But you have to be a business owner for you to even be able to pay back that kind of money.
But most people the problem is that most people that borrow this money are not borrowing to do any business. They are just hungry. They wake up today, there's something to eat.
Yeah.
You understand? And they just borrow and they just take care of themselves first without any repayment plan. You understand? If it was somebody that has a small business, for example, and maybe you need to do one or two deliveries or you need to stop quickly,
and
those kinds of people will be able to pay with some form of profit. Well, you understand? But a lot of times people just wake up, there's nothing to eat. Oh, there's a loan app somewhere that they borrow people money. They just go for it.
Well, I mean, the challenges that a lot of people are going through now. Imagine, your in-laws, your business partners getting messages that this person is owing 13,500. Oh, and it's not even that, because the longer you default, the more, the interest rate that would incur on the debt will be even way more than whatever it is that imagine you borrow 13,500 and after 1 month or so you are paying almost 100 and something thousand. So that's
because it keeps accumulating.
Yes, it keeps accumulating. So I mean, they named and shamed some names. Some of these DMLs, these digital money lenders. Their names are here. You can check them out in the Guardian newspaper. So you can be wary of some of the unregistered loan apps that we have.
Let me tell you what will happen with this publication from the Guardian. There are people who don't even know some of this. No, these loan apps, right? Mm-hmm. There are people that will now go and check them out and even register now for it.
And purposely collect. That's
what are you saying? The Guardian are giving some people now good information. What are you saying?
Oh Lord have mercy. Well, as your people say, this is a terrible situation with laughter. Anyways, a law. Yes. So, all right. So another law has been broken by these loan apps. It means Cybercrime Prohibits and Prevention Act of 2015, which provides a framework for prosecuting cybercrime, and it states that any person who knowingly or intentionally transmits any communication through a computer system or network to bully, threaten or harass another person or place that person in the position of fear of death, violence, and all of that is liable to imprisonment of 10 years and a fine of 25 million naira. So, very simply put, loan app defamation is a criminal offense in Nigeria. That's basically what, and adding that such loan apps that engage in spreading damaging information against their customers are liable to imprisonment for at least 1 year. So and also to those people who actively search out money lenders to borrow and not pay back. I don't know why you are doing that, but please stop it.
I don't know why. Even want to
but just please stop it, because people's
business.
You
don't know why.
Even if it's illegal, it's people's money. What's
illegal?
The loan apps, some of these loan apps, they are not registered. They are not, and the message is that the federal government send message to these play stores, these app stores rather.
Just remove them.
Yes, remove them. But some of them now use USSD. You don't need to download app. Just dial a code and link your BVN.
That's what I'm saying, that I don't understand that business model. They understand that.
You get it. Well,
because I assume that
people's pillow in their houses because they are defaulting on loan.
Is that the way they do it?
That purple loan app that is very popular, that purple one.
Don't you think that one is more people who do skip? Just I don't know. Because again, I've not seen anybody physically harassed for borrowing money. I've heard about it, but I've not really witnessed any.
I've seen people being locked in toilets in the offices of some of these places. It's all right. Let's just move on. But anyway,
how did you even see that?
What?
I'm just asking. I've not seen any.
The story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Unlicensed digital lenders, please be wary of some of these. They just, take advantage of the, the vulnerability of the situation.
Who are we blaming now? Who are we blaming, Sandra?
Well,
the loan apps for people that are borrowing and not paying.
The people, the regulators, the loan apps, and the people that are borrowing and not paying.
Everybody's
complicit in this.
It's the way of the loan apps. Because the loan apps will say that they are trying to solve a problem that our regular banks are not able to solve. That's quick loan. Easy money for people who quickly just need money to do one or two things. That's what they will say. Bridging the gap. So who are we blaming now? Are we blaming the regulators or people who are trying to solve a problem of fast money, for people who just make quick money that our regular banks cannot do, or people that go in borrowing these monies without the intention of paying back? These are bad debtors. Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. All right, so let's move on now. Still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, NASU SANU strike leaves certificate applicants stranded. And that is on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. So what we have is former students of University of Benin, UNIBEN, who visited the school for their certificates and statements of results were stranded yesterday following the nationwide warning strike by 2 non-academic unions in Nigeria universities. So according to NAN, what we have is offices where non-academic activities such as student registration, processing of certificates and others are carried out are under lock and key. All right, and it's very unfortunate. There's also a story that was reported yesterday night or yesterday evening or so, where a student, an asthmatic student of Federal University, Oye Ekiti, okay, thank you. Oye Ekiti, Foye, actually, lost his life due to the fact that the school was on shutdown due to the SANU NASU activities. Very unfortunate situations going on in different, schools across the country.
Yes. I think mostly federal universities, because most of the state universities don't have this program.
So what do you think? Yes. Because the President Bola Tinubu approved 4 months payments for ASU members against the no work no pay policy of former President Buhari. But the SANU and NASU, they were would we say ignored, or they were forgotten or something? I don't know. And
most likely ignored. But exactly. Unfair, really.
SANU and NASU, they said that they had been writing repeatedly that what about us, what about us, what about us, and nobody was listening to them, nobody was paying attention to them, so they decided to go on the strike. So what would you say? Is it to NASU or SANU now, or to the federal government?
I think it has to be. To the government, really. Because again, there has to be some level of balance, when it comes to response to these industrial actions. And it's unfortunate, really, because again, most of these students had stayed at home for almost 9 months during the Buhari government, and some of them are hoping that they will have some level of consistency and stability with their studies. And now this is happening because again, even if the academic staff are available to teach them, there are people who are processing results, some of them are supposed to be mobilized for youth service, and these are the guys that will process and handle some of the things, and now they are not working. So that's also destruction in itself, because the school is not just about academics alone; it's also about the administrative part of it. So I just hope that the government would look into this and quickly find a way to resolve it. So people keep saying that, look, if our politicians have their children in these schools, it may be, handling matters like this. You understand? If they are their children, they are going to school, they will not be happy. They send their children to structured environment where you don't have some of these industrial actions that keep students at home. So for somebody that's supposed to run a 4-year course, 6 years down the line is still in school, 7 years is still in school. These were things we saw during the military era, Sandra. Nobody had hoped that in a democracy things like this would be happening again. You understand what I'm saying? These were things that all happened severally during the military. I remember that Bacha era, we had several, disruptions in the academic sessions in the universities and all of that. But now begin to have it again in a democracy is unfortunate. Right? So would appeal to the government to quickly do something, to resolve this matter, please.
Thank you very much, Said Fuad. The story is on page 4. And in furtherance to that, Sage Babalola will be hosting NASU Chairman Unilag chapter by 4 p.m. in the Situation Room, so we can have further conversation.
So what is going on, really?
Yes, as regards that particular one. So stay with us. By 4 p.m., we'll have further conversations on that. So still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, we also have here, excuse me, criminalize importation of Adire and Kampala fabrics. Reps urge federal government. Fuad, what do you think? Because I know you are invested in this one way or the other. So
This one is
from China, Thailand. Yes, imagine that too. What happened to our people in Abeokuta? But what we have here, anyways, is that the House of Reps has appealed to the federal government to ban and criminalize the importation of adire, kampala, and other similar locally produced fabric into the country. And this resolution followed the adoption of a motion by Afolabi Afakwe, APC, Ogun, at the plenary in Abuja. And the sponsor said the call became necessary to protect the general local cottage industry and conserve scarce foreign exchange. For what? They're importing adire and kampala.
Are we not importing palm oil? Are we not importing toothpaste? So we are shocked that we're importing adire.
No, I know, but it's just
I haven't heard that we're importing fufu.
No, for what? Stop it. You're national radio.
This is our national radio, the reality of how bad things have gone for us. Okay, what about importation of PMS? As an oil producing nation. So it is adire that is the problem now. It's necessarily the sponsor of that particular motion that raised the question. Used to be my lecturer. We call him a fool. Honorable Fᴜဃᴜ from Ogun Central. There. So, and I understand that, it's probably trying to protect the business of people. Adire basically is from the people of Abeokuta there, is their craft. But let's ask ourselves, there can be an opportunity to import such fabric. It's not that there's a cost advantage. So you need to ask ourselves now, I am sure that the imported ones are far cheaper than the ones that are produced locally. That's why there's that opportunity to import it and begin to make money from it. If you understand what I'm saying. A lot of times, you begin to ask yourself, the same thing that is produced in Nigeria and the one that is imported becomes cheaper than the one that is produced in Nigeria.
So that's why when you go to buy fabric, they say this one is Ashonla, this one is Tğᴇ. I get it now. This is okay.
Yes.
All right. Please go on.
So what we're saying is that, look, yes, I understand that we need to protect local business. You understand? But we also have to look at other factors of production, to make sure that, look, when they are produced locally, there's a competitive advantage in terms of pricing and also quality. Sandra, quality and pricing. Because what these guys over there do is just come here, look at what we're doing, and then they just go there, produce it in large scale, and then you now discover that as you are bringing it in, it's even cheaper than the one that you're producing locally, the real ones that are produced locally. That is why it is easy for people in Malaysia to supply us with palm oil. Whereas we have in the 70s, they say they came here, saw the palm kernel, took it over there. Now we are importing palm oil into the country. So it's all ridiculous. I understand the idea of protecting local, but we need to ask ourselves, just the same thing with rice, Sandra. Are you aware that, look, at the end of the day, if you compare what it takes to the imported rice, it becomes cheaper than the ones you produce locally. How and where? Cost of production, the issue of power, infrastructure, access to funds and loans, and over there the government supports businesses. They make them try. So that people come in, they take it to their country and become cheaper than what you are producing locally. So those are the things we need to look at really.
Right.
Than just say if they ban, the ones that are politically some are too expensive for people to purchase. And then what about the cost? The people doing adire in Abeokuta, has the government even gone in there to support them with modern technology to make their fabric better and more durable? You understand what I'm saying?
Ogun State, they have a day where they wear, they have a day.
Are they committed to it? If they show up now, are they really committed to really growing that industry? You understand? Because naturally, if the support is there, the quality is better, it's more affordable, who's going to stress to go to China to go and bring in those kind of things? It's not easy to fly, thousands of miles, kilometers to go and bring in things. I know what I'm saying because you understand what I'm saying? It's about supporting the local business to ensure that there's a competitive advantage over the ones that are bringing in things.
All right. Thank you very much, Said Fuad. Well, that story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Criminalize importation of adire and kampala fabrics. Reps urge federal government. Moving on, we also have here. I think
the position of fabrics even on the contraband list already.
Yes,
so
it is.
It's more about smuggling and all the kind of things that come with it.
All right, we also have here, again, court refuses Nnamdi Kanu bail over terrorism charges. although they're going to try to speed up the hearing, but it's very unfortunate that Nnamdi Kanu may have to spend a few more weeks.
They said it to speed up the hearing, even though it was not granted bail.
Yes.
I know there was a motion to move him from the DSS custody to prison, which was also rejected by the judge.
Justice.
But he has now but it has now been said that look, the hearing should be faster. Let's quickly sort it out. That's what the judge is saying. So we wait to see. Even though I've said that, I think that the best way to handle the Kanu matter would have been to look for a political solution, really. So that everybody seems to. I think by now everyone involved would have learned one or two lessons. My mind tells me that, really. So but again, we'll still continue to follow the story and see what comes out of it.
Well, that story is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. All right, this is Trends in the Papers on Mainland 98.3 FM. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to those who are with us on Facebook as well. We appreciate. Yes, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. You can drop comments as regards the stories as the show progresses. All right, let's move on now to this story here, still on the front page of the Guardian. Finally, Delta governor briefs Tinubu on Okoma killings, and we also have here reprisal. Ijaw Youth Council raises alarm over invasion and killing of 40 residents. So let's look at the second one. Our story is on page 6 as regards the reprisal attack, and what we have is the aftermath of the recent killing of 17 Nigerian army personnel took a disturbing twist as the Ijaw Youth Council, IYC, raised an alarm over an alleged invasion of Igbo-Motoro community in South Ijaw Local Council of Bayelsa State. All right. And it was learned that troops of the Nigerian army invaded Igbo-Motoro on Monday morning, burning houses and allegedly killing some persons. What?
I think about 40. That's the figure we're seeing.
Bayelsa.
About 40 persons. Yeah. Because again, the siege, according to reports from the locals, has gone beyond Delta State. That with this search operation by the army, of course, going after the people that perpetrated the Dastardly act, has gone beyond Delta State, even to parts of Bayelsa State, and that's what they are saying here. That look, and as this search is ongoing, villages are being ransacked, homes are being bombed, and people are being killed. Now, these are reports that are not verified yet, and I'll tell you why they are not verified. As it is now, in most of these communities, the media is not allowed access. You understand? Even as at the time the governor of Delta State visited the Okoma community, he was not allowed. Media organizations were not allowed. The press was not allowed to go into the community with him. So this gives room for all manner of speculation. There are too many reports out there about this reprisal attack. Even though the army has said yesterday that this was just propaganda from the community. But again, when there's no clarity, when there's no openness, you give room for all manner of speculations and misinformation. If it did this is misinformation. But you know what, Sandra? I think we have to be very careful. Especially everyone involved, the military authorities, the government, and the people in the community. This is turning to be a more embarrassing situation for the country than we had ever imagined. And I'll tell you why, Sandra. Yesterday, I don't know whether the papers have it. I'm sure some of them would already be. The Senate president made a gaffe again, as usual. And he had made a statement that look, he thinks that this should be thoroughly investigated because he's from the Niger Delta. I'm not saying FᴜＧᴜᴜ about the Senate president.
Yes.
And that he knows his own people. That Niger Delta people don't behave this way. They are not that criminal minded to the point of killing soldiers and then beheading them and then mutilating their body the way it was done. And he has suggested that it could possibly be the army work of mercenaries.
Thank you.
And that was where the problem came from. That it's most likely these are mercenaries. And on this platform, Sandra, when this issue broke and how we handled it, from Monday till now, even when callers tried to come up with conspiracy theories to shut them down, because these are sensitive matters. You understand what I'm saying? Because again, if you go to social media now, Sandra, the kind of conspiracy theory on this issue is so unbelievable. Social media is an open forum for all manner of things. misinformation, disinformation. People are just throwing things around. You even have people taking pictures from Sudan, using it as pictures from the Niger Delta. So there's a lot of distorted information on social media on this particular one. And people have thought that, look, Senator Jᴏɪᴜ Aᴊɪṕᴏ should have been more circumspect. This is a man that is used to, making these errors. It should be, because again, what he's now saying, the Senate President, is that, look, he didn't say this are mercenaries, that this could possibly be mercenary, and that he wanted more investigation to be done. But again, the fact that he used that word and giving him, giving people the, there are people who want this.
There's giving room for a lot of, speculations and all.
Speculations, and because again, the chief makers are always waiting to fit on these things, and that's why, as the number 3 man, a high-ranking public official, he should be well guarded with his public statement. He should have just left it at the fact that, we commensurate to the families of the soldiers that lost their lives at police heroes, and we call for caution, you understand, in their operations to go after these criminal-minded people, and that, look, he wants more investigation to be done to really fish out the real culprit, and that, look, he will be against any idea of collective punishment. If he has stayed on that, but for him to have made a suggestion that this could be the hard work of, mercenaries are foreign fighters. Foreign fighters pay. So, and people will say that, look, if the number 3 man of the country is saying that, maybe he has an intelligence on it. He has an information on it.
Well, let's also
because it's not just you and I saying it.
Let's also quickly look at, speaking of, very interesting statements from our leaders. Let's also look at the statement from Silva. Tᴏᴜɪᴜ Silva, who said, and I quote, I condemn in totality the killing of men of the Joint Task Force in Okoma Delta State. This again shows why politicians should not arm irresponsible non-state actors. The Bayelsa governorship election featured a lot of disheartening state sponsorship of gunmen, and he said plenty la di da. But now there's now this condemnation of Silva's introduction of politics into the killing. Yes, I think that it smacks of insensitivity, which coming at a time where true patriots are mourning.
You see the problem.
I don't know when I need to just spew things and just talk.
Wait now, can we even dismiss what you are saying? He's a politician, so he knows what he says. When it comes to politicians arming people, we've said it severally, that look, we need to dig into this proliferation of weapons in the country, not even the Niger Delta. We said it because again, look, again, that's why people are saying that Senator Jᴏɪᴜ Aᴊɪṕᴏ should be careful with this idea of machinery. Like I said, if you go on social media and see conspiracy theories as to what had happened, you just shake your head. But whether we like it or not, we have a problem with proliferation of weapons in the country. It's not just the Niger Delta, because again, no matter what you say, people have said that, why did the army people go there, or they were on illegal operations, blah, 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 all manner of stories are what, when you look at the social media. But whether we like it or not, I am sure that, look, these set of soldiers would have gone into that community, at least armed to a particular level. And to have been able to take them down like that, it shows that, look, these are not ordinary people. We are not speculating here, but these are people who outgunned them, outnumbered them most likely, and were able to bring them down. Then the idea of not just bringing them down, looking at the military account of what happened,
dismembering
and then beheading them.
Yes.
So if Silva is saying that, look, politicians should be careful to arm people, we said it too. When we look at proliferation of weapons
in the Niger Delta,
there is no way politicians can wash themselves clean. We know what happened. They use some of them as political thugs. They hire them, they arm them. Look, when you go on the campaign train of the average politician, you see these boys there. They are political thugs. Remember that even the elections, we covered it. I was in the field. I was on Lagos Island and other parts of Lagos. I know what I saw. Even where the governor voted in Lagos Island, the kind of boys we saw there in Lagos Island. All these boys, we saw them. We saw the way they were behaving. Look, if you don't have mind, Sandra, you will not even get close to the polling booth of the governor of Lagos State. The kind of boys we saw on election day. And not that they were just at the polling booth, they even followed the governor to his house, to the house where he was saying. What are we saying here?
All right, thank you very much, Said Fuad. The story is on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper, and page 6, rather, of the Guardian newspaper. It is 15 minutes past 8 and you're listening to Trends in the Papers on mainland 98.3 FM. Let's move on now to Vanguard newspaper. The major headline there is still on Delta killings. 3 suspects nabbed and moved to army headquarters in Asaba. I don't even want to know what those people are going through at this time now.
Those 3
those 3 of them. I don't even want to know at this time now. But then we have riders here. Senate probes killing, calls for recruitment of more policemen. So let's quickly have a conversation, very quickly, please, Fuad, as regards that the Senate is saying, recruit more policemen so that we don't have to have the army, being involved in internal security matters.
Yes, I think we have to talk about that because again, we keep talking about the numbers for our policemen. We're still looking at around maybe 400,000 or so. And some of them with that number, you have half of them.
Carrying bags.
Guarding churches, guarding CIPs, guarding religious centers, helping. I think yesterday was a video that was trending where one individual had about 4 policemen guarding him. In a particular exit, and then one of them was even helping the other one to the so-called VIP to open his vehicle, his car, his door, his vehicle. No, our policemen should. And other people are saying that, look, IG after IG, they will come. Oh, we are going to remove policemen from VIP. It will not happen. They just say, oh, I'm going to withdraw policemen from VIP.
It was banned. It was restricted last year now.
It's the same story with roadblock. Oh, we are going to remove policemen.
Banned it last year.
It is not banned or nothing. It's the same thing. Because again, what I thought that, look, yes, our VIPs can have protection.
Yes.
And I think that what the police can do is to encourage private security outfits, train them,
yes,
and then maybe register them with the regular police to do the job. So if you are the individual, if you like, you want 100 security around you, you pay. Pay the private security outfit to get some form of training and registration with the regular police. So there can be an arrangement where the police now supervise the entire process of private security outfit doing the job. You understand? The kind of weapons they carry and how they can do professional. Look, we keep saying these things. There should be global best practices to what we do. I have not gone to any country standard where you see private citizens having policemen around them and security outfits and security arrangements. I don't see it. What you see are plainclothes people who are probably trained security, personnel, but not the regular police carrying AK-47. Have you not gone to the party standard where you see you are in the party and then when there's so-called VIP sitting next to you and there's a policeman with AK-47 just next to you?
Good,
how do you feel? So we just do these things. Look, even the policemen we have, can we just withdraw them from some of these so-called VIPs and encourage an idea of private security outfit taking over the job? And then recruit more, train them. Our mobile policemen should be in this trouble spot. That's what they are trained for. And it's not just to recruit again, standard. We can't be paying them 40,000-50,000 for such dangerous job. They should be well trained. They should be well motivated, well remunerated, and to do the job. Because it's not just about recruiting now. You have to motivate, train, and ensure that they have the full mental alertness to be able to do their job. Not to go and recruit people that they pay them 40,000 to go and be facing criminals.
All right. Well, the story is on
and
page
then they buy
5.
their own uniform.
The story is on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper. It's a very long read, but we can get more details there. So we've already discussed some of what is to come in the Guardian report already. In the Guardian, or from the Vanguard in the Guardian rather. All right, moving on, still on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. Edo Assembly directs Chief Justice to set up committee on Shaibu's impeachment. This is a serious issue, Fuad.
I know this one they've gotten to almost 90% of what.
Yes, so and it's looking very, very interesting.
Because again, after
19
committee,
out of 24.
the man is because again, all these legal attempts, the attempt to use the court to stop the impeachment process has failed so far.
Yeah. You went to the Federal High Court in Abuja.
And
nothing has been working in his favor at all.
So, and the State Assembly has been very methodical on this one. They are making sure they are not breaking any laws. They've done their investigation. The Chief Judge of the State has been told to set up a panel. And then after these recommendations, they just sit and unless something happens tomorrow or from what we are getting,
today.
or or to take,
but from all indications, things are going rather smoothly in favor of
the treatment process is going on very, very well as it will go.
19 members out of 24 voted in favor of the resolution, and
that's what I'm thinking.
That's more than two-thirds. Yes, that's just it. So the chief judge has been directed to set up a 7-man committee to investigate the petition, and then we'll find out what exactly. Everything is in line with sections 188, subsections 3 and 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and as it is now, the State Assembly is accusing the Deputy Governor of misconduct and divulging government information to the public. It's okay. The story is on page 10 of Vanguard newspaper. Page 10 has all of that. All right, we also have here on the front page of Vanguard, we didn't renovate government house with 18 billion naira. That's coming from Dᴇ, and that's the governor of Osun State. Yes, the story is on page 10 as well. So very quickly, what we have as regards that particular story. Oh no. Apologies for that. I don't think I have the right.
I'm sure the governor said how much he used to renovate that building. If it's not 18 billion, how much did he use? What was the cost of renovation? So he just moved into that government house. He has been going to it instead of going to government house there.
Well, it's stated on the front page of Vanguard. It's on page 10, but it's on page 8. Actually, yes. Page 8 of Vanguard. Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State faulted claims by the APC that his administration spent 18 billion naira to renovate the government house and described the claim as fake news. He added that the administration did not borrow such for its infrastructure project as claimed by the APC.
How much did he use now?
Well, it said, the statement said, and I'm quoting, the statement by the spokesperson of the governor, Olawale Rasheed, said, and I quote, "Our attention has been drawn to a statement credited to the APC in which it again repeated its lies about the Osun State government having taken a loan of 10 billion naira to implement current infrastructure. We equally rejected fake news of 18 billion on renovation. It is a figment of the imagination of failed men of yesterday.
How much?
Rather than sponsoring falsehood, we urge the APC to accept it failed while it governed Osun State and should be brave enough to commend the present government for succeeding where it recorded failure." I'm not seeing any figure.
How much they used to renovate the building?
I don't have any figure.
You say he's a politician. See the way the man is dancing around the issue.
He said the project in question is a multi-billion naira expenditure.
Good. How much?
Not say how much. He just said the project is a multi-billion naira expenditure spread over time.
Billion,
yes, it's billion. Multi-billion naira expenditure spread over time, designed to bridge the huge infra deficit the governor inherited from
Wait, now, you see, when you try to inform, also malinform, or you are desperate to inform, this is what you do. You know, he has not said anything. All the things you have read now, the guy did not say anything. He has said so much without saying anything. Because he just dancing around the issue, is a multi, and he has lumped two things together. Is it about infrastructure deficit or the government house that was innovated? Because what happened was that since the governor Adeleke became governor, he has refused to sit in that building. He has been going to private residence in Ede, even carry out government functions. There are people are wondering, why can't you stay at the government house in Osogbo there? He said he needed to renovate it. And then he had completed renovation. I think maybe just this weekend, he moved into that building. And people have said that, look, he has spent billions of naira, according to them, renovating that building. For sake of clarity, it's not 18 billion, no, it's 1 billion, no, it's 2 billion. Now you have the post person modeling the thing up just to deceive people. This is what they do. He said a whole lot in that thing now without saying anything. So we can actually go with what people are saying, that it could be well as much as 18 billion naira to renovate what? He didn't build the building. The building was already standing. The last governor used that place. You see what I'm talking about when it comes to transparency and proper management of public resources. Now they can't even put a figure out there. He kept dancing around the issue.
So it's a multi-billion naira project.
If you look at that statement, added. It's not the building he's talking about alone now.
Because from what he's saying now, it could even be more than 18 billion. Because they say multi-billion. I don't know.
But you know, this speculation would not have been necessary if he came out to say, "Oh, that entire building we spent 2 billion, and this was or 1 billion, or it was 500 million, or we just even painted it and changed ACs and one or two things." And like I said, they didn't build it. It's not a new building, no. It's not as if they started the building from the sky. It was just to renovate.
It's okay.
These people are just. Anyway.
Well, the story is on page 10. The APC has called on the EFCC to look into the books, and the PDP saying that they are not afraid, so they can come and look. Anything they want to see, they'll see it. And that's all we're taking from that story. Above the masthead of Vanguard newspaper, Edo Guba, only 6 parties have filed nominations, says INEC, urges parties to stop granting unnecessary waivers to defectors. And that's on page 7. Let's avoid litigation and going to court and, stretching unnecessary.
They will avoid litigation. What are you saying?
I don't know, because these are things that we are supposed to have learned from the tribunals of the past general elections last year. So, just try to ensure that you cover up any loophole. But, they're making the same mistakes all over again. It's exhausting, rather.
I think to a great extent, APC has been able to solve its own problem.
It's okay.
I don't know if the PDP has a serious rival, but I think APC, maybe with the influence of the president, has been able to bring in the guy as the running mate.
Yes.
For running mate, and then Senator Popolo as the Uber candidate.
Okay.
So to a great extent, I think the APC has been able to solve its own problem. I don't know of the PDP without swear and then try. Especially with this, Labour Party will solve its own problem. Really. I think they'll find a way to solve that. But again, if you look at what the INEC chairman was saying, that look, because every time people go to court, whether on primary issues or even election issues that involve the party, they always join INEC as a party to the suit. And INEC has to send lawyers there to go and represent them. And you have to pay the lawyers. You understand? So it's a waste of time where people are not supposed. Sometimes you have people doing 2-3 primaries on just one election. Just like we had it in Edo State for the APC. They did one, they have to do another one. Sometimes INEC will have to remobilize its officials to go and monitor the primaries again. Then in court too, INEC is always a party to the suit. They have to pay lawyers just because our politicians have refused to behave properly, to be well behaved. We need 2 things though.
All right, thank you very much. Also, very quickly, we have here Zenith Bank has appointed Dr. Adara Umeoji as its group managing director and chief executive officer with effect from June 1. And she's also going to be the first female to occupy that role. She has quite an impressive CV. You may want to go through that. The story is on page 19.
Yesterday. But it's not idea about CV. People have been doing more pictures. They've been looking at a picture more than the CV.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's what has been trending. But I think it's a good one for the feminists, who are advocating for gender balance and gender equality. Congratulations to her,
Thank you. Away from the pictures.
I'm not saying. Because people share more of our pictures than quality TV.
Yeah. Well, that's very true, actually. I'm focused. Congratulations to Adara Umeoji. All right, finally, just a minute to go through New Telegraph, the front page of New Telegraph. It is still trends in the papers on mainland 98.3 FM. The major headline on the front page of New Telegraph, Okwama, 17 officers, soldiers killers may be mercenaries, says Akpabio.
He has given room for it was unnecessary from the president. I understand the idea of him wanting to show some solidarity with the people of Niger Delta, but that issue was too sensitive for him to have gone that route of speculating as to what had happened, because again, as the number 3 man, whatever you say, people are going to take it serious. You understand? Because it's not a beer parlor conversation. It's the Senate president talking. Number 3 man who probably will have some privileges too when it comes to intelligence and all of that. So for him to have now speculated or come up with a conspiracy theory of maybe these are mercenaries, and then people have twisted on it. Social media took advantage of it, and then you have all manner of distorted information. And I think yesterday he himself had to respond to social media speculation on that story, saying that look, That's the reason why they think they should regulate social media. It's not about regulating social media. You should be careful with its authority.
Thank you very much, Fuad. Unfortunately, that's all we can take this morning on trends in the papers. We've run out of time. We still have a lot of other stories, but Ways and Means, Senate insists on total loan recovery. That's on pages 2 and 5 of New Telegraph. But stay with us. We'll take a very short break. We'll be back by 8:40 for Mainland Focus, where you, our dear listener, you get to be a part of the conversation by sharing your contributions, your thoughts as regards, the focal points for the day. This is Mainland 98.3 FM. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I know what this is.
98.3 Mainland FM.
Attention, Airtel customers. If your line has been blocked, then this is for you. Head to the nearest Airtel shop with your NIN. Our friendly staff will help you get your line back up and running. Don't let a blocked line keep you out of touch.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Hello everyone, Jᴏɪᴜ Superstores is here again.
Yes, that's why we are identifying with you, our valued customers, at this moment of purity, love, sacrifice and